Good morning, Pasha Shaftim. So it's brought down in the Jewish law that if a court filled with judges cannot find any good, cannot find any merit in the one that's being judged, whatever sin he did, no one can find any good in him, the guy goes scot-free. And as it says, so a whole court which says he is completely wrong, no one can find any good, he's missing in the idea of at least a few people to say that he's meritorious. So there are laws regarding monetary things and dealing with people, life and death situations, that by life and death situation even after the judgment comes out, he's on the way to get killed. Witnesses come and say, I found a merit for him. Even the one that's being judged, the convict, says he can find a merit. We bring him back. Constantly bring him back. And there has to be at least 2 judges more than the ones that say he's meritorious, that he can go and get killed. So what is the idea behind it as follows? That if no one can find any merit in him, that means his punishment will not be able to give him a forgiveness. He should be forgiven by the punishment. That means his good is so hidden that you can not find anything in him, and therefore he does not get the death sentence. Right? The death sentence won't be able to forgive him. So therefore, we say that he's scot-free for now, until there are judges which will find some merit in him. As soon as judges will find merit in him, he can get killed and his slate will be clean. But until then, he cannot be healed. He cannot be forgiven. And that's the lesson that we learn over here now. That if we could find if we tell him that he is scot-free, maybe he will do more mitzvahs. And he'll want to do more mitzvahs, and then he'll be also meritorious. At least a tzaddik in his judgment, if he has more merits than chiyuv. But if we tell him you're totally bad, there's no way out. So every yid has a neshama. Every yid really wants to do the will of God. He wants to. No matter what situation he is, he wants to do the will of God. That even if he is in the lowest level, and he does do sins, his true will is to do the will of God. And that's the reason when it comes to a divorce, we force him until he says, I want to give a divorce. And the reason for that is we don't want any agunas, we don't want the wives to be left alone, not being able to marry. There's no way to bring back the marriage. So what do? We have to force him till he says, I want to give. And the reason for that is because every Jew wants to do the will of God. And the only thing is we have to awaken his neshama. You have to tell him he has a neshama. And even though a person sleeps, that means his soul is sleeping, his neshama and heart is awake. And the only thing is we have to reveal the good in him. By revealing the good in him, then we can actually bring him to a meritable life. So it's very easy to knock someone down. It's very easy to say that he has problems. It's very easy to say he's a nothing. But the main thing is to say that he has a neshama in him. And he's still worthy. And therefore, in order to make your neshama comfortable, you do mitzvahs. Our neshama comes down, a very lofty area. We say neshama shenasata bi tahirahi. The soul that you gave me is pure. Ata varasa, ata yitzarta, ata nefachta bi, ata mishamra bikirbi. We go down so many levels until it comes down to our body. Let's make it comfortable in our body. And that's the idea. That if there cannot be anyone to find him eschus, he's in deep trouble. But we tell him that you're pater. And be'ezus Hashem, since v'shaftu ha'eda v'itzilu es ha'eda, v'itzilu ha'eda, there has to be the judgment, but you must save him. And the reason for that is we don't run to push someone, to punish someone. And therefore, at this point, which we are now, Hashem should judge us and find favor in His eyes. That what? That we should bring Mashiach already. Because we're in a level now that there's no hope. The further we go in Galus, the more garbage there is in the world. And the further we go down, the further we are in this world, the religion is concealed. So Be'ez Hashem, God will have pity on us. He will make a court case. As it says, God, when He makes a judgment with us, He cannot take judges from the upper world. He has to take judges from the lower world. Because the lower world, judges from the lower world, have the capability of seeing the situation as it was. That not necessarily his neshama was awake when he did it, not necessarily his heart was awake when he did it, not necessarily godness was revealed in him that he did it. And there were so many troubles, tribulations in his life. That's why he didn't fulfill mitzvahs. Up there, everything is pure, holy. Judges don't know what's going on down here. It says so, and that's his service is in the world, or he sits on the corners, or he has to do with the worldly matters. You're sitting in your Beis Medrash over there and you're learning. What kind of connection? How can you judge him that he did something wrong, or he saw something wrong, or he looked at something wrong, or this and that? Only someone that's down below can judge the situation. And dafke through doing one more mitzvah, we can bring Mashiach. So therefore, don't hesitate. Because just like when there are two merits in his favor, he can get killed, God forbid. But that is his rectification, purification. But through one merit, through one mitzvah, we can tip the scale and bring Mashiach. We don't know what action with our hands, what action with our mouth. Everything can tip the scale. And let's hope that this year will be the court case up above, and he will save us. And he'll bring the ultimate redemption through our righteous Mashiach. Long live our Master, Teacher, and Rebbe, King Mashiach, forever and ever. Long live our Master, Teacher, and Rebbe, King Mashiach, forever and ever. Long live our Master, Teacher, and Rebbe, King Mashiach, forever and ever.